Welcome to the Nyancast. I'm Jim.
And I'm Sam.
And today we watched a Sword Art Online spinoff.
About time. We got something Sword Art.
Yeah, so...
Seasonal Blend, a new spinoff called,
what's the actual title?
No, it's like Sword Art Alternative Gale Online.
Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online. So, I guess we'll begin. I'm not really a Sword Art boy. Like, I don't really know too much about Sword Art. I did watch the first
half of the first season.
Yeah, so I watched. I specifically remember I watched up to the episode where
the first arc,
where they kill Santa Claus.
Oh, you didn't even finish the first arc. Okay. Yeah, you still didn't get past.
I just remember one of the scenes I remember is Kirito is so fucking high level that there's like five guys.
That part's hilarious.
Like chopping him, and he's so strong that his health regen
is literally
is enough to counteract all of their five guys' damage.
It's the best. It's the biggest summary of an OP main character. Like, it's literally the image of like OP main character.
Yeah.
So I guess you want me to explain Sword Art?
Well, yeah. Do a brief run on the Sword Art because
there's no. Well.
Oh, also, I just want to mention before we get into this.
Yes.
It's currently airing show, so it's only got 3 episodes out. We watched 2 of Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online, so yeah, it's only going to be relevant to the first 2 episodes. Not that I'd watch any more.
You sure about that? Alright.
100%.
So Sword Art, the first... Okay, there's 4 main arcs, I guess, in the 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. So the first one is the most... Everyone probably knows the best, where, you die in the game, you die in real life, like...
Which also are the first words that are shown in the show.
Yep.
Hilarious.
So yeah, he gets trapped into like Sword Art Online.
It's just called Sword Art Online.
Yeah,
right?
like over 10,000 people. He was like a beta tester, so he was like very familiar.
He's overpowered.
The people called him they got him called beaters. The beta tester people call they're cheaters. But yeah, he kind of goes up, levels up. He's really good at the game. He meets Asuna, who's like the main girl. And
pink hair, has a sword.
She had brown hair, because everyone has to look like they do in real life, because that's the one thing he does in the beginning of the show.
Oh, she has pink armor, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has like white and red armor.
Why do I think Asuna is?
Because there's a girl with pink hair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about Sword Art later. About like it tries to be a harem when it really shouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically those two go out to the world. He meets members of his shitty harem. He has a best friend, Klein, who's like the red haired dude. He's like the friend character who gets shafted very early on, but people love him because he's kind of like the Hawkeye kind of thing. Where like, where's Klein? Where and then
I just remember Klein being a character, and then you telling me that I think there's like a whole subreddit.
Yeah,
dedicated.
One True Klein.
And I was just like, all right,
He's literally the meme. Like, people love him for no reason. And then he meets a lolly girl who has a pet dragon.
Oh, I kind of remember
gets
her.
Like tentacled, raped by like a plant thing.
That's the other thing I've heard about Sword Art. There's a lot of rape.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get into that when we get later on.
Why would they?
We'll get to that. We'll get to Japan.
Wait, sorry. Is Sword Art based off a light novel?
I believe so. I think the first one is, but then I think it's more so of a manga now.
It just became its own
There's
franchise.
So many different spin-off mangas, which I'll talk about after. Mm-hmm. But and there's I forget the girl with the lolly dragon, but she's like not important. But they try to make her a love interest, and there's like Liz, who's like the blacksmith, who's just like
black girl.
No, there's a black guy. He's a bartender.
Oh, I love the black guy. I remember him from the first episode.
Yeah, and then Liz, who's like the blacksmith, who has like she's just the blacksmith. She's more like a tsundere. I kind of feel. I don't remember her. She was very shafted, also like a shafted loving.
Okay, these are unimportant.
Yeah.
Move on. What was the finale of Sword Art?
First he gets married to Asuna. They go into like a cabin where they meet their daughter, their adopted virtual daughter.
Wait, so
Yue.
okay, I have so many questions. Why didn't they just beat the game? Kirito's so good.
Because they had to get to like a certain amount of floors, and like sometimes you need a raid party to do it.
Then Kirito's a lone wolf, so he won't party up.
But he lives with Asuna. He can't do it alone. That's why he paired up with her, and that's why they're married and have a virtual creepy adopted daughter.
Isn't it implied that they have sex too in the virtual world?
Yes, it is.
Holy fuck! I feel like I need to watch.
It's implied.
Show.
It's kind of shown and implied. And so they have a virtual daughter, and then it does a weird giant time skip to like they're like to like like 60 or so. Like they get like really high up on the floor.
Oh, I thought you meant like 60
yeah.
years old.
But yeah, there's also like the arc where like the one girl he was get killed off. Like there's random like side arc, like the people who were just destined to murder, like the murdering clan, and then the people who commit suicide. But it's just a weird like subplot that'd be interesting, but they barely like go into them, other than just being villains. But then yeah, they basically stuff happens. They find out like the Asuna's clan leader is like the creator of the game and the main antagonist, and he fights them 1-on-1, and they kill each other. But like instead of Kirito dying and Asuna dying, because she also gets like slashed by him and like killed, he's like, oh yeah, you guys can live, and like the game's over.
Wait, he let them live?
He let them live. He let them live. And then so yeah, they wake up in the hospital, and then he goes off. And then the second arc, this is where we're.
That was the first arc?
That was the first arc, and then Asuna they get out of the game, but Asuna's still in a coma because the creepy like guy her parents are like marrying her to, and then she gets like trapped. That's she's in the cage. She's in the cage the entire season. Curious to go to the fairy game to find her, and he teams up with unknowingly his sister, but not by blood. Or cousin or some shit, like it's like adopted like sister, and like she creeps on him and she becomes a love interest, even though one thing, the show tried to give him love interest, and like he had a definitive one girl that he got
married.
He literally like married her like in like years of relationship with her like in the game, and like they're like trying to make a harem for her, which shit doesn't work.
Yeah, that's I've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about Sword Art, and I forget who it was, but someone is like he eventually gets like a club of women.
Yep.
Who just like watch everything he does, and like they just don't ever they can't be in love interest with him because he has Asuna, so like it's pointless. So, like why are they there?
So yeah, he teams up with his sister. His sister's character name is Lifa, but basically everyone just calls them by their names, their in-game names basically.
Oh.
And so yeah, eventually they find her, they get her. She also gets like raped by Asuna gets like tentacle raped also.
Why?
Okay, but the best part, so she goes to the hospital. And the main villain dude who's like bought like the game, like the elf game or whatever, and like the one that trapped her into the game more. Like he has a fight in the parking lot with him when he has a knife. They have like a IRL battle like in a parking lot where he like they both get like stabbed, and he makes it safe. The guy gets arrested, and Kirito and Asuna get away together and like happily ever after. Season 2 is the first
Kirito
arc.
becomes a girl.
He gets like a female, like a very female-looking male avatar. It's like a rare one. People want to trade with him.
That's really hot.
I don't understand it that much. He's just like that's more figures, different kind of figures to sell. So he teams up with this one girl he meets in the game, like Sino, I think her name was.
I like her character design.
I think she's probably my favorite character out of like those when I watched it because.
I can't believe you watched all this.
I watched all this. There wasn't much when that show came on Netflix. There wasn't much else to watch.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, there's that schlock, and then yeah, he goes to the gun game. He's tasked by the government since he's like the foremost expert of virtual games to find a guy named Death Gun who is killing people, somehow finding a way to kill people in the game with a gun.
So he's like the government employs.
Yeah, there's one guy from the government, like oh yeah, there's a guy killing people. Why don't you find out and you're like, an expert on the virtual world and everything? Because this guy, like in the beginning thing of the second season, he like there's like an interview in game with like I guess a top player, and he's like in a death gun like in the bar. He takes his pistol and shoots the guy like on the TV, and he starts dying and like he starts like holding it like and dies. And like what the fuck is that? But yeah, the guy.
But so only people in the bar would have known.
Yeah.
That's such a stupid plan.
Word goes around.
What a terrible plan.
But yeah, but he's been doing it. So anyone killed by his gun seems to die like in real life.
Okay, so I know this one. So what happens is apparently his brother.
Okay, yeah. So he teams up. So now they go into like a battle royale game where they're trying to find him. Like but at the same time, you find Sano's like backstory where she's afraid of guns in real life, like horribly afraid of guns because like. It was a robbery, and the gun got away from the robber, and she shot the robber as a child, and it kind of mentally scarred her.
Oh my god!
But she also has a friend that our IRL friend, and then he's the brother of Death Gun that's killing people in the real life. And then
with like a syringe, right? Like he jumps on their body while they're in VR.
Yeah, he like injects like adrenaline to their heart or something like that, or some kind of I think it was like adrenaline to the heart. Like that's fucking gonna kill you.
That's a pretty good plan.
The brother was like one of those like murdering people from the first game, and that's why like he was doing it.
Okay.
You crazy murderer, but so yeah, and the brother just wanted like beat. But yeah, so she basically like Sino gets away from him and like if he get him arrested, blah blah blah, And
what more happens?
Okay, so this is when we go into the Asuna arc, which is about her. It's like Kirito's like barely a thought in this one. He meets a new girl. I forget, she has purple hair, but I forget her name.
Purple hair.
But she befriends her and her clan, and they go on raid. But she learns about like, the clan are all like people in like a medical facility, and instead of dealing with like the pain in real life, they're like put into the virtual world for like most of the days.
You mean like people who are dying?
People who are either that or people who have like some people were released later on, like they got like they recover. I guess they recovered like when their wounds were like.
They're not like doctors though. They're like they're patients.
No, they're patients.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
And the think it was something with a Y, but yeah, she was like a really good friend in her, but you find out, oh boy, this is the AIDS arc.
Oh,
so you find out she had AIDS from like a botched blood transfusion, like someone like contaminated blood feeding, and then she died of AIDS.
Oh my god!
It ends her dying. She dies of AIDS. And Austin, that's really sad.
I cannot.
And she's a really good swordsman, but she was a really good swordsman and everything. And she completed this dungeon. No one else completed for the first time with her and the other people from the clan. So that's all she wanted to do before she died. But then she got AIDS and she died.
I cannot believe that they like brought AIDS as like a plot point into this anime. That, like I can't think of another anime that ever has even flirted with the idea of AIDS.
AIDS was a device, and she got him and she died.
Okay, like this is my problem with Sword Art is like I hear things like this and I think like, you know, that's not terrible. Like that's like some of these aspects of that story are kind of interesting. Like oh yeah, so there's all these people who have, like are dying and their bodies are weak and they're able to use the virtual reality, which they explain in the fiction that the virtual reality is like a it is just pretty much like you wake up in a video game. Yeah, and it's like all your senses are covered. Like you don't feel anything when you're out of it.
Yeah, I think unless your heart rate's going, you won't really feel it. But the thing was like if you die in the game, like it would like the device would fry your brain. That's how you would die.
Yeah.
So
it's just like hilarious that made it through the patents and like safety test, and just because one evil CEO was a bad guy.
His plan was I forget. He didn't have a good. It wasn't a really good plan. But yeah, there's also like another book, like a manga going on. But it's like I think it's called like Sword Art Progressive or something like that. If it's about Asuna's perspective, but it's going by floor instead of doing a giant time skip out of nowhere. So it's actually like trying to tell like the entire story, I guess.
Because that's really something that needs to be delved into.
There's a bunch of video games for Sword Art as well.
I know there's a movie that's about like AR.
Yeah, it's like the Pokemon Go craze and everything like that. I didn't watch that.
Called Ordinal Scale.
Something, yeah.
But that's really all I know about Sword Art.
But yeah, so Kirito is the most overpowered, like bland protagonist. The Black Swordsman.
Not Guts.
Not Guts.
Not Gatsu.
Asuna, who's like the character, like probably the more interesting character of the show, would have been more like interesting if it was more about her. And she kind of got shafted because
she literally got.
I mean, surprisingly, she got a whole entire arc about her, but the arc was about AIDS.
What's that term that came from comics? Fridged.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like when a woman gets like fridged, she gets like she gets
killed off. And, like,
she gets killed off in like a really nondescript way.
And the character like Sinnoh from like the gun game got like shafted like after that season, like afterwards. So
that's annoying.
But if she becomes a cat girl, which we could have done, but I'm not making you go through like 2 seasons.
I can't go through. But I can't go through that much.
But yeah, so let's talk about Gun Game, which is a
GGO. Yeah, gay guys only.
No. But yeah, so this shows up. It's about like the plot device in the second season. That game, the gun shooter game, battle royale kind of. They even say battle royale in the show.
Yeah, definitely jumping on that trend.
Yeah, so we have our show is. Like Lalona with her name, like
it's LLEE and it's
Lena. It's like Lena.
Yeah, it's like Lynn, or it's stupid and bad.
But yeah, she's our main character. She's like a little lolly, like pink lolly with a P90, and
who she refers to as Peachan.
Yeah, great. That's the best part of the show.
Yeah, it really actually was the best part of the show.
Yeah, and she's like in the first episode, she's like playing like a battle royale, like squad match against like. With like this other, it's kind of like generic looking guy, but you seem to have some kind of military like.
He looked really familiar. He kind of looked like one of those just like big buff boring guys from like any anime you've ever seen.
He looked like he could be a general inside FMA.
Yeah,
like
very much.
If he didn't have like the gun and like the background.
He really did.
He could have been
like a bland FMA character,
like a background character.
Yeah,
but like yeah, so They're playing it like the one cool thing, like oh that squad. The guy's like, oh yeah, that squad over there. They're playing like very tactically. Like they must be. They're like a squad of police training, which is like, oh, that's interesting, cool idea. Like they're using this virtual like gun game to like train SWAT team.
I thought that was probably the most interesting thing I've ever seen Sword Art like tackle. And of course,
other than needs,
of course, we immediately see them like. Literally, once they get bested by the bunny girl, because also her
hat makes it look like a bunny.
Yeah, her hat has like bunny ears. They immediately all quit. There's a moment where she kills like one of the squad, and then the other guys are like, "All right, I guess game's over."
She hides in the suitcase like Metal Gear style. Like, she could have been in the box, and they come down and like kill them all. Like, well, we're fucked. I guess that's the end of the scenario because you guys failed it. So the funny part when they resign, they just fall down. Like,
they press the resign button, and then their lifeless body just flops forward. It's so funny. But so yeah, we see them introduced. I feel like talking about them more than the fucking main characters. There's like these dudes who are like, yeah, big Japanese boy machine gun club. Yeah, and they're all just like these doofy looking biker Rambo guys that just all have.
They all get sniped by like the big dude.
Yeah, they just all have like machine guns, and they're just like unloading like unlimited fire at the main character. And okay, so they were all firing at a tree. They had machine guns. That tree would have been eviscerated.
The tree probably...
It took damage. The tree took damage.
Probably not destructible damage.
That's stupid. That's realistic, though, because in video games, a lot of items are...
Because the grenades went off in, like, the tank area. It just made dust and not, like, an actual, like...
We didn't see that. I thought I saw a crater, though, for a second.
I don't know. Maybe the floor is the only thing. The ground can only take damage.
Maybe. I don't know. It's fucking dumb. I hate it.
But she also uses like a body as like a shield. I told you like how like an immortal object was like a thing in like other Sword Art where like that's how you find out like certain OP like creator stuff or like creator system stuff.
Yeah. So that was the one other thing I was like that's kind of interesting because when a person gets killed, their bodies don't explode. Like we see later on in the PvE when someone dies, their body explodes.
I kind of figure like. If they just die, it kind of goes into spectator mode kind of thing.
You turn into a bird like an Arma.
I can believe that.
No, but so yeah, when you die, your body just kind of becomes like it kind of ragdolls, I think.
Just a corpse.
Yeah, and then it becomes invincible and like bullets, so you can use a body as a shield and you don't have to worry about getting hurt.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting, but not really. Like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like a fascinating idea.
The first episode was just like a battle royale game. For the most part,
it was really
a very like there's only 2 squads other than like the one we had going, and and we get a brief appearance of her in like real life with like her like greeting like a bunch of schoolgirls who seem to know.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
they seem to know who she was because like that was amazing. Like don't embarrass me or something like that.
When I first saw that, I thought that she was like a mom.
I thought she was a teacher.
I thought that what the show was gonna do is that like she was gonna have a daughter who was really into the game but bad, and then the mom, who's the main character, was gonna be. No, not even that. That's clever though. But the mom was gonna be playing the game and I'll be really good at it, and then the daughter was gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's like Weed Master at 6969 just killed me again," and then her mom was gonna be like, "Oh, that was me."
The better thing Sword Art does, like in Sword Art Bridge does, is like they made Klein like his username was like BallsDeep69 because that's what like someone would probably make their username for.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I compared this to Ready Player One when I was watching it. It doesn't. The people making this don't understand what people would do if they were put into this universe. Yeah. If they were put into a VR game like this. Just look at VR Chat.
Yeah.
Like a game like VR Chat is like dominated by like weird anime girls.
The purpose was gonna be like a place where people can use these VR avatars and like they're to talk to each other, or place very like these little like areas like like a resort or like a bar, stuff like that. But it kind of extended that people have these weird anime avatars, these weird like monstrous avatars.
All these memes and like people going in like they're in Blender and like making a really like low res creepy model of something. Yeah. You have like Oni who made the Beef Boy.
Oh my god.
The hilarious like. That's the kind of stuff you'd see. You wouldn't see just like but the other thing on the other hand, I will say, with like the cop squad, there definitely would be guys that would be like, all right, I'm gonna deck myself out in like accurate armor, like
we have a friend that would do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he does that in games, like
like
where Jim would be like the anime little girl like running around
ganking people with like a sledgehammer and
I would probably have it like do whatever would look cool for me, like like I wouldn't have too much of a preference other than the gun.
Yeah, I don't know, that's the thing though, like you see all the characters and like they have no personality in their designs. even like a game like PUBG, which is I think aesthetically gross, characters still like look weird and will put like weird costumes on.
Well, yeah. Now there's a lot more customization with like stuff you can get from like the chests and whatever. But I don't know too much about PUBG anymore. I haven't played it in like ages.
Speaking of unattractive aesthetics, I really dislike how the world looks in this video game.
It's a gritty, like, it's just a dark world. Like, I expect a military shooter to not be like bright and colorful, even though they have like a bright girl, like bright and colorful.
But that's dumb because I'm watching a visual medium. I'm supposed to be watching something that's visually interesting.
Like, of all the Call of Duty games I've played, like Battlefield always had a dark aesthetic to like military shooters.
But like Battlefield has like a good sharpness, and like the thing with like Call of Duty is like Call of Duty.
The menus were always like black and dark.
They are, but like a game like Call of Duty has like very good set pieces. It knows how to like. It knows how to like.
Not anymore. It won't.
Well, yeah. Now they're not gonna do single player at all. But you know what I mean? Like even in like the shitty ones, like you play those games and you're like, wow, that was like a big thing that happened. Like there was a big spectacle. In this, the only thing that I thought was interesting was the way the city looked. And so we see from like distant shots, we see this like big kind of towering, cool like obelisk-y.
The hubs.
Yeah, like big skyscrapers. And then every time we see her in the city, it just looks like a generic European city. There's no, like, she's just walking around. She goes to the same window to look at her character model over and over again. Like, you're telling me there isn't, like mirrors anywhere?
VR chat has, like, mirrors in every avatar in the lobby world.
It's just, I don't know, like, the world is so fucking boring. It was kind of neat when she went to that, like, pink desert, but not really.
I like that, episode, let's talk about episode 2.
Yeah, we're still kind of on episode 1.
Which is, like, her character introduction.
So we learn that she is actually a college student going to an all-girls college, and I kind of enjoyed the scene where she was getting into VR because she's definitely a normie.
So she has a what's
a complex.
Word? Yeah,
she's a complex about her height.
Complex.
She thinks she's too tall.
Which we were talking about, like she's like 5'7", 5'8", because in Japan, like that's probably like being too tall height. Or she was like tall, but she wasn't like obvious 6 foot. If she was 6 foot, she would be towering over every single thing.
Yeah, the weird thing about it is like we see her proportions look fine. She looks above average height.
Yeah.
But then they show her literally like towering like a foot over like Japanese, like full grown Japanese men. So is she supposed to be 6 foot tall? Like
I don't know.
It's really hard to tell. Also, it's not really that important.
No, but yeah. So
but it's one of those things that is kind of like, why is this a Why?
Yeah, so she meets up with her one friend, and she's like, because she's into like the VR thing. Like, oh, you don't have to worry about that Sword Art Online thing happening. There's safety things. Like,
I love how they have to go out of their way to explain, because like this world has been traumatized by horrible disasters in VR.
Yeah, and she's like, here's a bunch of games. They go to a game store. Here's a bunch of games that.
There's a bunch of like fucking references to Sword Art.
Yeah, and here's Einkride, which is like with the second half of the second season they play for the most part. And like, oh, I went for a Wind Fairy, and she gets really tall. And like, she scrolled over Gnome, which would have easily been the shortest character.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, that whole scene was baffling.
Also,
she chooses her character, and it says pick your race, and she goes through 3 of like the 9 races and doesn't even look at the other ones.
And also, she like. She goes through 3 of them, and like, there's like no character customization in any of these games. It's like random.
You just wake up, and so she spawns in, and she hates it. She spawns in, and you immediately spawn in looking at a mirror, which is kind of strange. And she hates herself because she's tall still, which is like whatever.
Yeah, she has a panic attack on like every character she like looks through.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not only is it that she's dissatisfied with the way the game makes her look. It raises her heart rate to the point where it kicks her out of the game.
Yeah, because it's like a safety thing where like your heart rate piece or something, like stress happens like in the game, it'll kick you out.
So I think she has like deep-seated mental problems. I don't think it's a complex. I think it's like a fucking disorder.
Mental problems are like a what's it called? A running theme inside Sword Art, because we had the whole the gun complex for Sinnoh. We had the whole dying complex inside the second half of the first season and the second season had that.
I think that's what makes the Sword Art so edgy, is like, oh fuck, we'll do like some psychological shit, bro. And it's always like, oh man, you just fucking die in the game and you die in real life, bro.
But
that's just what I think of when I think of Sword Art. That and all the rape too. Their rape is pretty
stuff.
fucking. edgy.
The lollies, the harem stuff, and that makes sense in this show. For any show to have a harem when you have a definitive romance, that makes sense.
It's just one of those things where they're just like, all right, isekai check, all right, video game check, all right, RPG check, harem, why not? Just throw it in there.
Just throw it, yeah, basically.
We'll make it fit. We'll make it fit after.
But yeah, so she finally finds like a good avatar in Gun Gale. She learns like the tutorial, like different guns used.
Oh, also yeah. So her avatar is a fucking child. She's
lolly.
Like literally like she looks like she's a 9-year-old girl, and she also has a different voice.
So I you know how you wondering what her height was? Like I'm like she's 183 centimeters tall. So I'm gonna have to like now
check
like
that out.
Because American here.
180. If it's under 6 foot, I'm gonna be very angry. I'm gonna scream.
183, I said, right?
I forget.
So
yeah, I guess keep talking.
Yeah, Jim, please.
So it's really bad, and I hated it, and it's stupid. Yeah, so she's a girl. She takes the form of a little girl,
I clicked on.
And then everyone who looks at her is like, "Is that a little girl?"
That little girl sure is happy.
And then she just never corrects people, saying that no, I'm actually a
6 foot.
Okay, so she is 6 foot tall. Okay.
6.00394 to be exact. But.
All right, so a 6 foot woman is decently tall. A 6 foot woman in Japan is probably like fucking gigantic.
I gotta do that research.
Is she supposed to be like non-Japanese?
She said I think she's Japanese. She's just not from Tokyo. She went to Tokyo
for
college.
Though. I just thought maybe she's supposed to be like foreigner, like she's supposed to be like half Japanese and like half American.
I mean, that would be under the.
They're so tall.
I can go under background. Here we go. Youngest child of 5. Hail from Aomori, but moved when he started successful business. Now she's from Japan. She just moved to Tokyo for college.
Okay, so it's fucking stupid. I wonder how frequent that is to have a super tall child in Japan. It must be very infrequent. Whatever. It's a stupid plot point and it's dumb. So basically, long story short,
she goes like she goes in like the PvE, but the tutorial like, oh, players come in there, you're probably gonna have to shoot to kill because it's survival of the fittest kind of thing. And they can't see her because the whole area is like pink, like it's
like a pink desert.
Yeah, like a very pinkish desert. And she kind of blended because she had like all pink. She wanted to make herself more unique or cuter or something like that.
Yeah, she said, I want to change my outfit. So she just goes to a color change station and just becomes bright pink. And then she's like, this isn't ideal, but it's fine. And then she just never gets any new equipment or armor or like she never makes any other attempt to change her appearance, even though she's 100% focused on her appearance. That's why she's playing video games.
Yeah.
So she literally picks the game. She picks the gun game because it's the only one where it had a character model, the height that she wanted.
The one she didn't give up on getting a character for it. None of them actually have a character creator, so...
Do you think she could have just played, like, VR chat? Like, say that VR chat existed. She could have just picked her own character model.
I don't know, man.
Why are all these games have these, like, randomly assigning character model? That's so... No one would play that. It's like Dust. Remember that game... No, what was it called? There was a game that came out for Steam, and when you play it for the first time, it automatically assigns you all these stats, and like your race is one of them. And people were like angry that they couldn't change their race, like I don't want to be black, or like, do you remember this? It's called like
it's like imagine playing like a Elder Scrolls game, and like you don't choose your race, you don't choose your
people don't play those games.
She had like a high agility stat for out of nowhere. Like you don't grind to get certain stats. She just had like a high agility.
It's just like it's kind of spits in the face of role playing because the point of role playing is you get to have choice over your stats.
Yeah,
and I get sometimes, but that it's just like. But my point with like bringing up that game, I think it's called Dust. And there's another thing too. They give you a dick size because that's one of those games where you're like naked. One of those like survival games where you start out naked, and so some characters have really tiny dicks and others don't.
Rust or Dust?
Rust. It's called Rust. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, Rust.
Yeah, no, the Rust is that game. Yeah, and yeah, so it assigns you all these things, and people stop playing it because when you can't give. I mean, it's a cool experiment, I think, but people aren't going to want to play a game where you can't control the character.
Yeah. It's weird.
I feel like the free market would dictate that.
Like no one would play Elder Scrolls if you couldn't choose your race, your stat, the kind of character you wanted to play.
You hit start at Elder Scrolls and you automatically are like a bright red Khajiit.
Okay,
like
here. Do you want a sword or a bow? Pick your one. They have their pros and cons. You have to only pick one.
Yeah, you can only pick one.
But yeah, so. Yeah, she basically comes like known as like the Pink Devil because she's camouflaged in there and she's known to like, recently kill like all these new players.
Yeah, so what she is doing, she is just camping. She's literally camping in a low level area and just like killing all these people. It's just like, And then she gets a reputation, and then she meets another girl gamer.
Yeah.
Who
has face tattoos.
And erroneously thinks that she is a little girl. Which is something that she never corrects her on, and is actually kind of creepy.
Well, then
she uses that to her advantage.
Later on she goes like he's like, oh, maybe she made you realize. She's like, you'd be really surprised. I'm guessing she probably has some kind of like alluding to some saying that.
Alluding to something like that, and like also being truthful. Like you have to be truthful with people in this world.
I'm excited for how conveniently local she's gonna be compared to her.
Oh, they're gonna be like next door neighbors.
Yeah, but
it's probably gonna be one of the elementary school students she wanted to be.
It very well could be. But yeah.
I also forgot there was a scene where she's walking in town and she sees a bunch of middle school students and she's like, wow, look how happy they are, and also short.
She doesn't want to see them or something like that. She kind of like moves away so she don't see her. So maybe
she's embarrassed about her height and she wishes that she was a cute, kawaii middle school girl like everyone else in Japan does.
But I'm guessing it's before the thing at the end of the first episode? Because she like knows them? Because she like...
No, yeah, that was definitely a flash forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they team up, they become friends and everything, and like she's like, okay, so one of these days we're gonna fight each other, and if you win, like we'll meet in real life. That's the kind of like a promise she made.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the end of the first episode. Like they have that pack, and then that's it.
Yeah, it was not good.
Oh, she buys P90-chan in a gun store. She's like, well, I didn't know this kind of place existed. It's a gun store. Everyone would know. That's probably the most bustling like place in like the game.
Her ineptitude is kind of baffling to me. It just goes...
And she bought guns before she said that.
Yeah, she clearly had different guns, and I don't know. It's just weird. I guess maybe you can make the argument that she was given like those starter guns, but then she was given 2 of them. So why would she have 2?
She had the laser gun first. Then she got the dual wielding like machine pistols.
Yeah.
And then she bought P90-chan. But
it's stupid. It feels like one of those things where it's like plot contrivances just to like have a moment where she's like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing, even though, like, I don't know. It just feels dumb and bad. And I didn't like it, and I hated it.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was... Oh, also, I didn't explain this earlier. It was made by Studio 3 Degrees Hertz. Or, I think they might just be called 3 Hertz. Sorry, there's another studio called 4 Degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Or it's really stupid, and I mix them up all the time.
That's fine.
But, so, 3 Hertz is actually a really good studio that I like a lot. They're responsible for Flip Flappers. They're responsible for Princess Principal, which were... Princess Principal is one of my favorite anime of last year. Mm-hmm. And it just breaks my heart to see them working on a Sword Art spinoff. And...
You gotta make your money somewhere.
Yeah, I guess
There's money in Sword Art.
But then again, like, when you do make your money on these things, I'd want you to, like, put some panache in it. Put some style. The first episode was so boring. It was, like... there was, like, 3 scenes.
For, like, an action opening episode, it wasn't that much in it.
There was no good animation in it.
But the thing is, like...
In your first episode of your anime.
Yeah, I think the second episode would have been a lot better of, like, showing her how she got in there, then kind of flash forwarding to her being, like, in that... Or, I don't know. Maybe we should start with the first episode, then kind of build up.
I feel like every anime does that, where they start, like, in media res in the first episode, and then, do you know what that means?
I know.
They start in...
We talked about first episodes plenty of times on this podcast.
They always start with, like, kind of a flash forward. Yeah, and then they always move on, or, like, they always start with a flash forward, and then they do, like, a flashback for, like, the next few episodes. It's normally, like, kind of the first arc.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get lucky enough where they'll do, like, kind of a time skip to, like, okay, I guess the first episode happened already.
Show her how the character started. You know, flash forward, like, we really understand that she has some experience, so...
Yeah.
You guys, I want you to introduce to the characters, like, you know.
Yeah.
What you need to do.
I normally don't have a problem with that, but it just starts to feel so, like, standard. And, like, I'm just bored, and I hate it. Did I mention I didn't like this?
I know you hated this, but would you recommend it?
No. Never.
I gotta ask.
I would definitely not recommend this. I found it very boring. Okay, I said this the same while we were watching this. Even as a Sword Art fan, I don't understand why anyone would be enjoying this. Like, it has the boring scenes. The world is bland and boring. The animation's not fun to watch. The characters are stupid and I hate them. What else did I miss? It's boring. It's just boring and dumb and bland, and there's nothing happening. Like, I could spend my time watching any other show that the studio's done. Princess Principal is fucking gorgeous. Mm-hmm. The animation of that show is so good.
I've heard that a million times from you.
I know, I love it.
You don't shove
Flip
it.
Flappers, not even like a great show, but it is visually interesting, and it's like the color palette is like mwah. The color palette of the show is like, all right, they got some green, olive, and then you have this fucking gross bright pink, this blur of bright pink that runs across the screen. I hate it. Do you recommend it?
The only reason I would ever continue to watch it is to see how it escalates to an eventual tentacle rape or a knife battle in a parking lot. That's the only reason I would ever continue to watch it, to see how it would escalate to typical Sword Art fashion.
The stakes are also extremely nothing. There's no stakes yet.
Yeah.
I don't see what direction it would go.
Every season had stakes except for... but,
like, I mean, like, in the first few minutes of Sword Art, like, Kirito already knows that...
First half season, you're gonna die in game, you die in real life unless you reach the end. The second half of season 1, get Asuna out safely. Season 2, find a guy who's killing people in the game or in real life, blah, blah, blah. Find out that mystery. And the other half was reach the end of this goal that no one else has done before the girl dies. That was like...
Now, I'm not the kind of person that says that a story needs to have X, Y, and Z to be good, but when you have a character who has no real drive, the only reason she's playing this game is because she wants to look cute.
She wants to be short.
Yeah, because she wants to be short, particularly. She doesn't have, like, an antagonist at all.
He's not yet.
Yeah, there's
no... The antagonist seems to be, like, the friend that she wants to beat so she can, like, meet her in real life.
But they're, like, already best friends.
I don't know.
They work together.
I don't know.
I could see that. I guess, I mean, she looked like a villain, so she'll probably become a villain.
Unless the German officer girl from, like, the OP is gonna be, like, a villain. I don't know.
She also looked like, the villain we're talking about, the girl with this, like, tight spandex, she looked just like Speed of Sound Sonic from One Punch Man.
She does.
Like, to the T. Like, she has, like, a scarf. She's got, like, the long black hair. She's got, like, the big butt.
It looks like her.
It looks
like him.
I love Speed of Sound Sonic.
But, so yeah. If you're gonna watch anything Sword Art, to watch Sword Art or Bridge, it's the way superior way to watch it. Funnier, makes characters a lot better. Actually, give character to Kirito.
Or just don't.
No, trust me. If you want to watch anything of it or get the story without watching like half hour, like 24 like half hour long episodes, Sword Art or Bridge is the way to go. It goes by a lot easier.
Well, you could just also steer clear, pull a Jimmy and steer clear of the franchise until your friend makes you watch it for their podcast.
I'd say just watch the Bridge. It's superior.
All right.
Makes the show good. So,
Bunny Girl, is she cute?
She looks like a typical lolly with all pink. That P90-chan was cute.
P90-chan.
I gotta say that.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for that.
That was kind of funny, I guess.
But, so, I guess that's anything else to say about Sword Art?
I don't ever intend on revisiting
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
What about the live action one comes out in America?
Oh, I forgot about the live action one. Okay. I take everything back.
Well, I think we get the Sony.
We'll definitely do an episode. We'll definitely do an episode when that comes out.
Yeah. What do you think if you saw the Sony headphones in the end?
Oh, that was shocking.
I'm pretty sure Sony has the rights to it.
They have to.
Or is it a Netflix show or is it Netflix or maybe a movie? I can't remember.
What is?
Sword Art live action one.
I forget. I feel like every time I hear something in the news it changes. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, so I guess that's it. I guess that's it about Sword Art.
For now.
All I can do is speculate wildly about how the live action show will be.
Or season 3 is going to come out.
It has to.
Am I going to be forced to watch that schlock? Who knows?
No one's forcing you. These are self-imposed restrictions.
We'll see. Sorry, we're drinking a lot of water this podcast. Yeah. It's a hot day.
It's hot door. So, we are going to move on to Coffee Talk.
I hope you know you missed it last time.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, we almost did, and then you stopped me. What, did you go back and listen to the whole episode?
No, I'm pretty sure we never did it last time.
No.
For our Magical Girl site. You never did it.
We did the seasonal blend thing instead.
This is a seasonal blend.
What? This is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but whatever. You even said, like, I was about to do it, and then you fucking said...
What is seasonal blend, then, for Sword Art?
For this, it's a cup of gray water. I serve you a cup of gray water, and I call this anime. No, then you look at the kitchen, and then the kitchen, it looks beautiful. It looks like they're making, like, delicious meals out of it, and then you're just like, what? This is just a cup of gray water, and they're like, fuck you, Princess Principal's last season.
Man, what did this... is a glass of parsley soda. That's gonna come into later.
But Sam, parsley soda is interesting.
But you think it's interesting, but once you get it,
it's disgusting. But it's still interesting. This show is the least interesting thing I've ever seen.
I don't know, man. I'm too hot right now to actually think of something.
How about a cup of hot gray water?
A hot gray water tea. What's the grossest flavor of tea that you probably could drink?
Oh, that's a good question.
Mushroom flavored tea.
I like a lot of tea. Mushroom flavor. It's weird.
It would be weird. It's weird and probably be gross.
I don't like those.
Probably very unappetizing.
I don't like those heavy chais that are like
cinnamon. Like too much cinnamon.
Way too much. Yeah, way too much cinnamon.
Like a tea with way too much cinnamon.
Yeah, like I do like a nice like vanilla chai.
People who like a nice sword art, but probably not like this.
If I went to a bar and I ordered a sword art online, what would the bartender give me?
What's the blandest drink you can get?
Oh no, okay, I have an answer.
What if you drink tequila because you drink too much, you die in real life?
if you die in the bar, you die in real life.
Yeah.
No, here's what happens if you go to a bar and order sword art online. So you know at bars they have those little like drink catcher things so that it catches the spills so that it doesn't stain the bar. So he lifts that up and he rolls it up and pours all like the overflow spillage into a cup and then he gives it to you and says that'll be $100.
He pours a shot of whiskey and a shot of tequila and a shot of vodka in one cup and then that's your drink.
No, it's not bad though.
You just mix together in one sludge.
I'd rather have that than sort of online.
But it sounds very unappetizing and probably wouldn't.
It doesn't sound appetizing, but I'd rather... If you told me, watch 20 minutes of another episode of this show or drink this shot of, what was it? Tequila,
whiskey, and vodka.
I would do the shot in a second, because it's...
It's all mixed together, spun around, not like all in layers. It's all
No, it's fine. A second on the lips, rather than fucking 22 minutes on the hips.
Whatever you want to do. Alright, then. So, should we stop talking about sword art then?
No, never. We'll never stop talking about sword art.
Mr. Art, want to stop talking about it.
Alright, so let's move on to... Well, we did the coffee talk this week is water, because we were just drinking water.
Just all the water.
Yeah.
All the ice water.
All the water in the world.
Until you get the AC.
Yeah, until my AC box comes back. Which might be sooner than I thought, because it's...
Spring's actually coming.
Yeah, spring is in fucking full force now. I thought we were going to get like another four months of winter.
The North got like a blizzard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably sponsored by water. Drink it with plenty of ice, please.
Drink it. It's like a drink.
More like a drink.
So. Alright, so moving on. What did you do this week that didn't involve Sword Art Online?
Well, plenty, but watching a lot more Series 4 events. I'm on the last book now, so like book 9, so
the Carniverse Carnival.
Really loving the show. Does everything great. Style, characters, design, like music seem great. Like
yeah.
It's all around great. I recommend it completely, especially as fans of the book. I love it.
If you read the book as a kid, this show you'll love this show.
Yes.
Unless you didn't like the book as a kid, then I guess you might not like it.
It is very depressing.
Yeah, it really is. It's funny because like that's always the joke is that like the author is always being like, please stop reading. It's only gonna get worse. Mm-hmm. And then we're at the point where it actually is like, oh, things are bad.
Like everything going
like
worse for them.
It's pretty fucking sad, actually.
Yeah.
But it's also hilarious.
Very, very charming.
Really good cameos for the actors.
Yes.
Really good. Not even cameos. Really good, just actor choices. It's like a star-studded cast.
Yeah. But I was watching that. Trying to
Supernatural.
No, I'm a little behind on CW shit right now.
Good.
Fuck you. Stop hating on shows I watch. I watched Queer Eye on Netflix and
Queer Eye's fucking great.
Yeah, sure.
Shut your fucking mouth. I watched
these Japanese reality shows.
Yeah, they're fucking fascinating.
Yeah, Jim. Mm-hmm. You tell yourself that.
Terrace House is like a fucking social experiment.
I'm sure, Jim. You can show on my show like you can't.
Well, you can't show on my shows because my taste is impeccable.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they are. Mister, I don't shut up about fucking Queer Eye.
I've talked about Queer Eye like 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Queer Eye is really good. Hey,
I'm sure.
What's our podcast called? Nyancast
Yeah,
Nation.
Jim. Jim's so flustered that he gets like offended.
Nyancast Nation. Check out Queer for the Straight Guy.
Don't call him that.
We're the Nyancast Nation now.
Don't call him that.
Check out Queer on Netflix. It's fucking great. It will make you cry. Every episode.
Watch Legend Tomorrow on Netflix. It's a lot more entertaining than Queer Eye. New season came out on Netflix, so watch that instead.
You can either watch something that's like made for adults by adults, or something that's made for like mentally destroyed chimpanzees that like
Jim,
huff
stop
paint.
being such a fucking downer about that. It's a little like you're so PMSing. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We watched Megalobox, which is fucking awesome.
What the fuck?
We watched the boxing show.
Oh,
you never remember the title.
You just said Megala. It's called Megalobox.
You keep saying blocks.
I just
Like
said blocks.
you typing in
You
blocks.
said like some Indian name.
Like Megalobox. Not blocks. You keep saying it's blocks.
You just said vlogs.
No, you said blocks. I said Megalobox.
It's Megalo, like megalomania.
It's
It's Megalo box.
Megalo.
Megalo.
Because sometimes it's space and sometimes it's not. Like,
Why is it Megalo?
because maybe it was Megalo.
It's Megalo.
Okay.
Megalo box.
That's fine. You can say that.
All right, I forgot we watched that. It was really good.
Yeah,
I think we actually watched that after we recorded last episode.
probably.
Yeah, it was really fucking cool. It was like, okay, I'm one of those people. I hate it when people are like, it's like Dark Souls in anime, but this show really does feel a lot like Cowboy Bebop. It's kind of like got a bit of a Cowboy Bebop, a bit of a Red Line.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen much of Ippo, so I shouldn't really comment, but I know that Hajime no Ippo is like a boxing anime,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives off vibes of like clips I've seen of Ippo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks promising. I'm hoping the quality will keep up with the first few episodes came out. It's actually like a remake of like a 60s, 70s manga. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I like the idea of it's like the real kind of
It's a
a
reimagining.
good remake.
I'm pretty sure the studio that did like the first like version of like that anime of that manga doing this one, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was weird. We like looked at their whole like production history, and it was like there wasn't really anything of note on there. They've just been around since like the 60s doing, I guess,
Under a couple names.
Oh, they did Akira.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say they didn't do anything of note. They did fucking Akira.
Yeah. So
that was the only thing of note.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I'm gonna beat the old hunters. I'm for Bloodborne DLC.
Nice.
I'm on the Orphan of Kos, which is fucking insane. And then playing the Warriors of Orochi. I'm almost beating that. And I can finally really grind on Dragon Dogma.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So, and then I haven't really watched like Series 4 Event. The only thing I've really been watching. How about you?
For games, I've been playing only really Danganronpa lately.
Good.
But it's really good. I like it a lot. I think I'm more than halfway through the game. I just finished my third trial.
Yeah, you got like a couple still like you're like halfway.
I think
just
based on the amount of people left, there can't be more than like
you're about halfway through.
It's really good though. I like it a lot. It's really fun, and the characters are really good.
Music's great.
Music's really good. It's really just good. It's a really weird game, but it's really good.
It's the best kind of I think the best visual novel to play.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you interact.
Yeah. It definitely feels like a PSP game.
First one, and the second one kind of does. The third one, I don't know, it felt like really awesome. Like,
I'm really excited to see how they evolve.
The character sprites you would noticeably evolve.
That's good. I love some of the characters in the first game though a lot. I love Celestia, or Celeste Ludenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Her like when you find her ultimate goal, it's the greatest thing ever. But
wait until you meet Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
Wait until you meet Gundam in 2.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. And then I just finished, actually this weekend I binged a new Netflix anime show, or well, technically it's a Hello Kitty spinoff.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
It's called Agaretsuko, and it's about a little red panda who is like a working girl in Tokyo. Is there a term for like salaryman, but for like a woman?
Salary woman?
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean though.
Business woman?
I've only ever heard the term salary man. Then again, Japan is pretty male-dominated culture. But so basically, it's this cute little like red fox girl, and she's like really excited to start working. She's like 21. She's like, I'm finally gonna go into the work world. And then it's like 5 years later, and she fucking hates it. She's like super jaded. She just is like. It's really funny because the art style is really cutesy, and she's just really depressed all the time. And she's always like she hates like everyone she works with. Her boss is like literally a misogynist and like is a terrible person, and her way of like decompressing is going and doing karaoke, and she does like death metal karaoke. So like the show's full of songs, and it's her like it's like when she's like at the breaking point, she'll like run to the bathroom, and then like scream out some death metal lyrics that like are relevant to the scene. It's really funny. It's not like the most amazingly produced show. It actually is decently directed for a show that's ostensibly made in Flash, with like really thick outlines. But I love her friend, Koneko-chan, who is a little like Fennec. Or no, not Koneko. That's from High School DxD. Her friend is named Feneko-chan, and she's a little like Fennec Fox, but she's like, I love her. She's got a funny voice. I love this show. I want to do it for the podcast, but Sam is a Debbie Downer, and even though it's a show that I know he would enjoy because it's got like, you would love the protagonist. She's like one of those like kind of like jaded like what's her name from Dragon Maid? Yes, Kobayashi. I kind of got like Kobayashi vibes from her, except less lesbian. It's really good though, and I loved it, and it's very funny. It made me laugh hard.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anything else?
I've been watching the Violet Evergarden still. I haven't finished that. I really want to. I'm going to probably finish that soon. I really like that show. It is such a just fucking Kyoto Animation. What did we do to deserve Kyoto Animation? They just constantly put out like, just even if you don't like the show, the quality at which they produce anime is unrivaled. It is, the show's gorgeous.
Have you like seen any movie pass from the past week or not?
No, I wanted to, but
Did you see Quiet Place?
I did. Did I talk about that?
I'm not sure.
Because I know I talked about Isle of Dogs and briefly mentioned Pacific Rim last time. I saw Quiet Place. It was okay. It was a solid, very like okay, fine movie. It was scary and made me jump. That's my review.
That's good. I mean, that's what a horror movie I guess should do. That's what a horror movie should do, I guess.
Yeah. People really seem to be liking it. I mean, more power to them. But I didn't really care about it as much as everyone seems to. People seem to really love it, and they think it's like great. Like I saw one of my friends give it a 10 out of 10. And I was like, you know the face that Drake makes in the Hotline Bling video? Yeah. Like that was how I felt when I saw someone gave A Quiet Place 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The monsters looked really cool though.
Okay.
The monsters were pretty...
Wait, practical or CG?
CG. That was the weird thing, and I found out later that Michael Bay produced the movie because there was a lot of creature in it. There was always CG though, unfortunately. But it was like, wow, there was a ton of CG in this movie, and it looked pretty good. So yeah, the Michael Bay.
Well, he's the man of CG the entire movie. So
yeah, you can definitely tell that they got some bankroll from the Bay.
So anything else?
That's really it, I guess. I feel like I'm missing something.
Maybe. My phone ringing.
It's fine.
I guess then, where can they find us, Jim?
You can find us on the internet. Press the little power button on your magic internet box. Open up a browser window to the future and type in...
I think you're like hallucinating.
Nyancast. It is very hot in here. The heat's starting to get to me. I'm hallucinating. So basically, you just go check us out. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. Our name is The Nyancast. You should see that. It's probably in the title of this video. Or if you're on iTunes, you're already there, you dingus. So yeah, if you're on iTunes, it would be great if you gave us a review, a like, or a subscribe.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Share the love. Just share the wealth. Share the share
the load.
What's the word? Share the load. The Nyancast is a usable mineral. We are a resource. Share us with the world.
It's about family.
It's about family.
And you guys
follow me on Twitter. Yes. Well, follow the Nyancast on Twitter.
Oh, Jim is basically the Nyancast on Twitter.
I am the Nyancast.
I am at Gokai-kun on Twitter. So
I try and post things that aren't just notifications that the show's up, but most of the feed right now is just me.
Me and you are still trying to get used to the whole Twitter. Well, I never use it that much.
I mean, I'm already a Twitter master.
Are you?
I haven't ever run an account like the Nyancast account before, so that's kind of new. Also, I have my own personal Twitter account that I like to use more than...
Well, do you want to plug that in or not?
Not really.
Okay, then don't plug it in. I'll plug in mine.
That's why I'm just saying, like, I use my personal account more, and I follow a lot more people on my personal account, so... Because when I go on my Nyancast Twitter account, it's just like, alright, this isn't where I get my sexy anime babes from.
Oh, that's a shame. So, I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for really just accompanying us on this, what was quite a Sword Art adventure.
Yeah, on this hot spring day.
Dude, it's almost like we're in Hot Springs right now. Okay, Sam.
I wish we were in Hot Springs.
Sam, I just came up. So I had a few goals in mind for what I think the Nyancast should do.
Oh God.
I kind of want like 100 subscribers. That's like my short-term girl. I want 100 short-term goal. I want 100 subscribers.
Want a short girl?
I want a girlfriend that is a fan of the podcast. I also now want us to do an episode in the Hot Springs. I want us to go find some hot springs and record an episode there.
Did you just say that?
What?
Did you just repeat that one?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's my new goal. Like, that's the new like extendo goal for me. Mm-hmm. Also to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Because why not? All right, this is the end. I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much for listening.
You want to hallucinate rant anymore?
I also want.
No, just say goodbye.
I want a fan to send me something special.
No.
P.O. Box is just kidding.
Just no.
Do you think we'll have a P.O. Box someday?
If we have more than 28 subscribers, maybe.
All right, that's enough of that.
All right, bye.
Bye.